with that, we are going to go on to our next guest, which is Susan Davis. And I am going to go and read her.
Did you get your co-host status back?
Yes, I
Okay,
reclaimed it. Yeah,
excellent.
thank you. Okay. And I don't, oh, did I make him leave or did he leave by himself? I just did something in the chat. Oh gosh, it's happy Mercury retrograde, everyone. Okay, doke. Let me, oh my goodness, there's no place to do this properly. Okay, so let me read Susan's bio. As an integrative health and I'm not sure what this is supposed to say. Health, it's got and amp. Is that right, Susan?
I'm not sure what you're reading, but
It's your bio. That's what it says. It has and amp, like AMP. So is that right? Or was it supposed to say something else?
it must have, I don't know what happened to it, but
As
I don't know what that means.
as an integrative health and AMP performance coach. Susan Davis has helped Olympic and AMP again. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean. Professional athletes serve as she has served as a health coach for the Way to My Heart 501c3 and corporate executives and entrepreneurs internationally and across the US. She has an extensive leadership background focusing on the implementation and evaluation of programs designed for effective communication related to quality of life and recreation for the Department of Defense, DoD. Her focus on this area has been on strengthening communication skills by incorporating proven stress reduction strategies. That's a tongue twister. Susan is the author of Creating Life Balance, Strategies to Thrive, and co-authored Wartime Coping Strategies and contributing author to Food for Thought, a PAD Warrior's Handbook for Healthier Eating. I'm so happy I made it through that. And with that, I'll give you Susan. This is just the way my morning's been going. So it's all good. Thank you so much, Susan. I present to you Susan Davis. She is awesome and she's an amazing healer. I've been there. So it's been really good.
Thanks, Marianne. Thanks for having me here. And I'm a stress reduction strategist and specialist. And I got most of my training, not really that I wanted it that way, but returning soldiers from war. So everything I'm telling you, I know works because I've seen it work. And my background is energy medicine, transpersonal psychology. And my mentor was Dr. Norm Shealy, who just recently passed, but he was a neurosurgeon, PhD, MD. So basically most everything I teach and practice has come from his over 40 years of research. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, which is your stress. Okay. And it's a great follow-up with Chris because he kind of led into a lot of what I'm going to be talking about a little bit more in more detail. But are you aware that do you know what the three major deficiencies are that are associated with stress and all known disease? That's lack of water, lack of oxygen, and lack of magnesium. And we have control over that. So if you understand that and you step back and go, well, how can I do that? Well, number one, there is a formula, there is a recipe for water. So that is take your body weight in pounds, divide that number in half. That's the minimum amount of ounces of water that you need a day. Our bodies are mostly water. We're over 70% water. If we don't have water in our bodies, then our cells cannot communicate effectively. And remember, everything that I'm talking about today really goes back to communication, but I'm talking about your biology. Okay, so your biology is where we're going today. Because if you're going to be an effective communicator and leader and entrepreneur, if that's your role, then you must pay attention to your biology, right? So we need to drink more water. So does that mean I can drink energy drinks, Susan? No. Does that mean I can have more coffee? No. Basically, if you do any of any of those things, it's like one step forward, three steps back. You actually dehydrating yourself. You're contributing to your stress and lack of sleep and all those things that we need for our biology to function optimally. So what is another thing that's deficient? The oxygen. So if we're not practicing breath exercises, most everybody that I've seen so far on your show, Marianne, so far, they're not breathing. Okay. They're like from one thought to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. So the reason I bring that up is we should be modeling what we're talking about or how we're leading. So just take a moment right now and take a deep breath in. Now let's do that with your hand on your chest. Okay, over your heart. And just for a moment, feel the weight of your hand on your chest. Now take another breath. Now, did you feel yourself reground? So this is also an actionable takeaway. You can be in a situation where you might be feeling anxious, okay? And maybe you actually suffer from panic attacks. So I want you to practice this. Hand on your heart. Nobody knows what you're doing. This is very subtle. And I've given it to a lot of CEOs, executives, so that they can start to bring themselves down and refocus on what their topic of expertise they are getting ready to present, or whatever it is that they're involved in. Just by simply placing your hand on your chest, it just looks like you're concentrating, right? So yeah. So more oxygen. Yes, more oxygen. So I have
my favorite thing to do. Sorry to interrupt, but I have to say that breathing techniques are my favorite things in the world to do. You can change and shift your energy so fast. Okay.
perfect, Marianne. Yeah, no, I'm going to give you a practice right now. I call it the 3x3. It's a 3-minute meditation done 3 times a day. I promise you, if you do this for 7 days consecutively, you will have changed something that's important to yourself. Okay. So here we go. This is how you do it. It's actually a breathing meditation. And so most people don't like meditation, especially in the entrepreneurial world. There's very few. That's fine. However, I want more of your optimal performance because I'm counting on whatever project that you're working on. Our entrepreneurs are brilliant. And most of them are suffering from burnout. I spent a lot of time in Silicon Valley working with these startups, and I can tell you for sure, let's stop and model this 3x3. So the way I teach it is you're going to say, breathe in, breathe out, count 1. And you're going to say that to yourself because there's a little mind chatter going to come in and say, oh, I need to get gas in the car. I need to go to the grocery store. The cat needs in, so this is for you to stop the chatter. So I want you to say to yourself what I'm going to be saying. Here we go. Let's start. So we're going to breathe in through the nose, out through the nose. Count 1. Breathe in, breathe out. Count 2. Breathe in, breathe out. Count 3. Breathe in, breathe out. Count 4. Breathe in, breathe out. count 5. Breathe in, breathe out, count 6. Breathe in, breathe out, count 7. Breathe in, breathe out, count 8. Breathe in, breathe out, count 9. Breathe in, breathe out, count 10. Breathe in, breathe out, count 1. Breathe in, breathe out, count 2. Breathe in, breathe out, count 3. Breathe in, breathe out, count 4. Breathe in, breathe out, count 5. Breathe in, breathe out, count 6. Breathe in, breathe out, count 7. Breathe in, breathe out, count 8. Breathe in, breathe out, count 9. Breathe in, breathe out, count 10. Do the next 10 on your own. Go. How do you guys feel? Yeah.
I'm ready to go to sleep. I don't know about you guys.
Well, good.
Not really.
No,
Not,
you
not
can't.
right now it
No, I
isn't,
don't want you to
but
go to
yes.
sleep.
Otherwise, yes.
So if you felt dizzy at all, then you need more oxygen, right? So I also like to promote the oximeter because it kind of gives you a visual. Have you got your oximeter?
I do.
Mine's
I'm gonna put us into gallery. Hang on. So here's mine.
good. Yes, the oximeter. You can get that anywhere. Yeah.
And you put your
You can
favorite
measure.
finger. You put your
Yeah.
favorite finger.
Yeah.
And then
You can measure your heart rate and your oxygen level.
Yep.
So I just did mine before I came on. It was like 99% oxygen and my heart rate was 49.
Oh, that's
So
really good. Mine's
yeah.
99 and 64. So sorry.
Well, obviously, yeah, that's good, Marianne. That's good.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay. I didn't work out or anything. I just took my dog out for a quick walk in the morning. But we're gonna go to the park after this.
Yes. You are. So let's talk about the third deficiency, magnesium. So magnesium is the first mineral that leaves your body under stress. So probably everybody that's listening and watching and contributing is magnesium deficient, okay? So I recommend magnesium lotion if you can't do an Epsom salt soak daily. So this was created by my mentor, Dr. Norm Shealy. So the parts per million are highly recommendable. So I would do this at least once to twice a day. If you're really stressed, 3 times a day, all over your body. So the cheapest way is Epsom salts, soak for 20 minutes, at least 1 time a day. So you can do just a foot bath. A lot of people like take showers. So then go to the dollar store and get a tub and put your feet in it with a cup of Epsom salts at least once a day for 20 minutes. So guess what you can do while you have your feet in the salts as you multitask? You can practice your breathing. You can practice your 3 by 3, okay? So remember, my challenge is for you to do that 3 by 3, 3 times a day for 7 days consecutively. So say we just did it once, so you got 2 more times a day. If you forget to do it 2 more times today, you have to start over tomorrow to do it 3 times a day, okay? Cool? So what are the 3 deficiencies associated with stress and all known disease? Lack of water, lack of oxygen, and lack of magnesium. We have control over this, right? So take back the controls, add in more magnesium, more water, and more oxygen. So I'd like to encourage you guys to get my book, because at the beginning of the book, it has an assessment you can take to see exactly where your stress is coming from. So you're like, oh, Susan, I know where my stress is coming from. It's because I'm not getting enough sleep. Well, that's probably true, but let's see where else is coming from. Because after you take the assessment, then you can take the top 3 stressors and start to eliminate them. And since most of us are very visual people, I want you to take that stress assessment so you can see where to start. Obviously, we need to pay attention to what we're eating and drinking. I mentioned that earlier. But if you are still contributing to your imbalance by drinking alcohol or smoking nicotine, those things are not healthy for you. It's not good to model that as well, because it's contributing to lowering your frequency. Remember, my background is energy medicine, which all is based on frequency. When you have a low frequency, you're tired, you don't feel good, you have a headache, you may be frustrated, you may be angry. When you are vibrating at a high frequency and you're in joy and happiness and you're celebrating and you're not tired, then you are in a state of physical manifestation. So you can physically manifest whatever it is you're trying to manifest. But if you think you're going to be able to physically manifest on a regular basis without taking care of your biology, not going to happen. I mean, you can go through all your checklists all day long. If you're not paying attention to your self-care and your biology, I don't know how to help you. The other thing I wanted to briefly touch on, if we have time, Marianne, is the quantum healing. Is that okay?
Absolutely, please.
Okay. So quantum healing, what does that mean? It means we're actually healing at a cellular level. So what does that mean? So perhaps you've been attracting the same kind of relationships, or you keep having something occur over and over again. You're like, I don't know why this keeps happening to me. Okay. It's probably from, I'm going to say 99% from an unconscious belief or an unconscious program. So the key word here is unconscious, because if you knew what it was, you could fix it. So my other thing that I do to help people reduce stress is actually go in and delete the unconscious programs. That's through a regression technique I call the resolution experience. So if you're interested in that, I'd be happy to give you a gifted 20-minute consultation so that you can ask more questions about that. But it's very powerful. For example, one of my clients was the daughter of one of my regular clients. She said, "Can you help my daughter? She's very angry." I said, "Sure." So the kids, I mean, they process this stuff quickly. And so we processed the anger. It was very quick. I'm not going to go into the details on that. However, the reason I brought it up is because I worked with her once, and then her mother reached out to me and she said she's failing her algebra, her mathematics. Can you work with her? I said, sure. So she was like, I think she was 14 then. And I said, well, tell me how it feels, when you're taking your test. She goes, well, I feel like I know everything. I said, but then I get the test back and I've failed it. I said, okay. So I remember in a regression technique, you go with the feeling. The body is a roadmap to where you're going to delete the unconscious program. So she gave me the feeling and we went back to the situation. Then all of a sudden she went further back into the regression. And I said, well, what's happening? And she goes, well, I don't know. I can't understand the language. I said, well, your unconscious mind can understand the language. And I said, what language is it? She says, Polish. I said, okay. So what are they saying? And she goes, is there mathematics and nuclear energy? I'm like, yeah. And she goes, well, they're wanting me to create this device that's going to hurt a lot of people, and I don't want to do it. I said, okay, so what happens to you? And she goes, they take me out and shoot me. Look, well, guess what the program was? In order to stay alive, I must not do well in mathematics. That was the unconscious program running, which she deleted immediately. And the next week, she took her final exam and got 100. I can't make this stuff up, guys. So that's what quantum healing does. If you want to reach out to me and ask, like, I don't know, Susan, I think I might have an unconscious program running. Yeah, I would probably say so. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to touch on the other love of my life, which is working with energy healing, quantum healing. And I have a lot of energetic applications, which do not require any pharmaceuticals. So I love Marianne. I really want to say thank you for having me on your show today. And it was fun.
Coming. I love Susan, and she is definitely one of my healers. Speaking of daughters, can you share with us who yours is?
Oh, sure. My daughter is Colette Davis. If you're into racing or building cars, you can find her on YouTube. She just won the gold down in Malaysia. She's drifting right now. She was in Monster Jam truck. She drove the Wonder Woman truck and the El Toro, and she beat Gravedigger, by the way. So if you're into monster trucks, and she does rallycross, open wheel, but now she's drifting. So you can find her. Her channel is at Colette Davis, and she rebuilt her dad's truck. So you can find some of the stuff that she's doing. We have the crazy gene in our family, okay?
I love it. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So Susan and I are both in the same networking mastermind group, and we instantly bonded over energy. I mean, it's hard not to, right?
Yeah.
And and then when she told me who her daughter was, I'm like, oh my God, now you guys are the coolest family ever. So this is wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on here and sharing with us. And if anyone can't, get a hold of you, just connect with me and I will connect you to Susan. But if you will go onto my Facebook page, we are streaming live. If you put your contact info in the chat below, they will find you. And okay. Oh, good. You put your phone number there too. That's excellent. And thank you so much and have a wonderful day. Now you're on vacation. Where are you? Are you guys back home now?
I'm home, but I'm still on vacation.
Okay, good. Good for you. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us on your vacay. That's amazing.
Thanks, Marianne.
And with that, we say goodbye to Susan. Well, not goodbye. You're welcome to stay here as long as you wish.